on my podcast. I don't want any copyright
The
issues. Thank you.
podcast. We don't got a
This
theme
is our theme
song.
song.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Not at
yeah. This is the
all. Not at
podcast,
all.
y'all.
But we're super
We
prepared.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's good, yo? How you been, baby?
I've been, living
Mm.
my most mediocre life. I'm trying to be a white man in these streets. So, I'm just dealing with the punches and I'm
You
still
trying to be a
here,
white
baby.
man?
I'm
You trying
still
to carry
here.
a gun or something out here? What you talking about?
Nah, nah, nah. So I go to trivia every week at Bronx Ale
Yeah,
House. Shout out to them. I almost won this week. You know what I mean? Three Pete Rock'em
shout out to the
Sock'em
Bronx.
champion over here. Shout out to the Bronx. So
I feel like you didn't almost win, but that's
I
fine.
I did almost win. Anyway, I've been forming a camaraderie with other people there because I go there so much. And
She
one
got
of
bad
the
service or
other
something. How you
yeah,
gonna
I
come on
do.
the
I'm in a
podcast with
cab.
bad service? What's going on here?
Bro, I'm in a cab. I
Okay,
live that life. I'm in a cab. We gotta
yeah,
just
okay.
get
So,
connectivity where you can get it. You gotta get in where you fit in.
Jared,
Right?
is
So
it just
anyway,
me?
let me finish my story. Let me finish my
Let me
story.
go in this other room real quick, man.
So anyway, somebody told me something a few weeks ago that stuck with me. And they were like, yo, we're failing up, right? Which means I'm gonna try something and see if
Mm-mm.
it works. And if it works, I'm gonna claim the credit. If it don't, I'm gonna do what the white men do and just brush that shit off like it's not my fault. You know what I mean? So failing up, I've been failing up. I just been failing up, yo. I'm trying shit. I'm gonna see what works, and everything that works, I'm like, yo, that was all me. If it didn't work, then I'm like, yo, it was that nigga's fault, not mine. You know? How you been? How was the
I
MMM?
see how that
You was
goes.
out there you was out here like, yeah, nah, looking like Texas in this bitch.
Yeah,
What's good?
yeah, it was crazy out there. I was out in the desert in California, man. It was wild. They had breathing exercises. They had live music festivals. I did some comedy at Pasadena Comedy Club.
Nice. We
I
saw
went out
that.
to yeah, I did some schmoozing at Broadway. I mean not Broadway. I said Broadway comedy. I did some schmoozing at the Comedy Store, but they when you go to the Comedy Store in LA, if you're not on the bill, it's just so many
It's
comics
it's
waiting
super
in the
hard to get it.
wings
Everybody trying to get
to
in,
get
right?
up.
Everybody trying to get in.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody trying to get it, especially for Crack 'em Up Thursday with Nichelle Murdoch. So I hit her up last minute about getting up there, so I didn't get a chance to get up, but I was able to link up with some comics I ain't see in a minute. My man
Nice.
Jamar, comedian CP. So it was a pretty nice time out there. I spent the week. I'm so excited to be back here.
You
Um,
look like you got a little bit of a black man tan. You know what I'm saying? Your
well,
melanin
yeah,
is super popping right now.
yeah.
Your melanin is super popping. Like you're almost orange, my guy.
Word up, Lincoln. I'm Chuck Norris chestnut right now, but that's all good. You
Chuck
feel me?
Norris Chestnut. That should be
Yeah.
your name. I wish you'd have put that shit in your thing.
I can always
Right now,
change
I'm
it,
just
baby.
I'm just a Timberlake. I'm just a Timberlake.
um, but yeah, let's call in our guests, talk about
Yeah,
that
let's.
talk.
I mean, he's already on the screen, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell his story because a couple weeks ago I was at the Do It show, right? So shout out to
Uh-huh.
them, Adiel and Brandon, the host of the Do It show. I was on
Shout
that
outs.
bill, and they had a drop in comment, Justin Waters, or
Jared,
I'm sorry,
Jared.
Jared Waters, right? No, not Justin. Jared Waters was a
She
drop in
high.
comment at. I'm not high yet, but I will get there. I am a little bit tipsy. Shout out to McAllen 12 for that. But so there was a drop in comment, Jared Waters that dropped in. He was hella funny, and I
Mhm.
went to tag him on Instagram, and the thing that made sense, the tag that came up was Mr. Waters. So I tagged our illustrious guest tonight, Mr. Waters, and he hit me up on Instagram like, "Yo, that's not me," but thanks anyway. And when I looked at his profile, he was still a comic. I looked over some of his stuff. He's still hella funny. He's got a show tonight at Broadway Comedy Club. So shout out to him. He's tapping in from the green room. So let's please everybody out there in the Insta world, in the universal YouTube world, like give a warm
Yeah,
welcome to
yeah.
our guest tonight, Mr. Jared Waters. Hey, shout out to you. What's
Jared
good? How you feeling,
Waters.
homie?
Yeah, shout out to Jared Harvin. That's my dude. Shout out to Jared.
Oh,
Right, Jared Harmon.
Jared
it was
Harvin.
Harvin.
It
All the
was
Okay,
Jareds are funny. There's a lot of
Harvin. It
Jareds in
was Jared
comedy. All of them
Harvin.
in New York are
Yeah,
funny.
okay, yeah, no, I
but
know Jared
hella
Harvin, and
funny.
I also know Jared Waters. I've
Jared
done
Waters, Jared
I d-
Freed, Jared Schwartz. There's like five of us.
oh, y'all should have a Jared
Yo,
show. Y'all should have an all Jared
y'all
show.
should have a Jared show for real. I agree with that. Y'all should have a Jared show, and it just be
Uh,
y'all, like no other comics, just y'all, straight
it'll
Yeah.
Jareds.
definitely
If
be.
your name's not Jared, you can't get on the bill.
Well, good to see all of you guys. Good to see you. Welcome back from Texas, man. Hope you guys are well. Shout out to your
Yeah,
cab driver. I know he's been through a lot, but shout out to him.
Yeah, shout
yeah.
out to him. He turned the music down when I asked him to because I was
I
like, yo,
heard
we
it,
can't
yeah.
have no copyright issues on these
I know.
episodes. You
But
know what I mean? The
I'm
littlest bit of copyrighted music gets our shit like banned from
are you
YouTube or
still
whatever.
wearing masks in cabs right now, or do you
Yes, it's
still?
still the
In New York
law, my
City,
nigga.
yes.
It's still the law. And
Oh,
also, it
hey,
ruins your Uber rating, okay? I'm
oh,
not
word,
trying
I
to
ain't
fuck
got
up my
no
Uber
Uber.
rating for shit.
I must not have an Uber rating at all. I'll go in there raw dog in the whole cab. I just be licking the window, man. Ain't nobody for what,
Oh,
like
God.
you know what I
You're
mean?
the
Well,
worst.
you know what I
Jared,
don't know.
Jared, what do you do in a cab? Do you raw dog it? Are you like raw dog? You out here, or you like you respectful of the rules?
Nah, I just put the mask on. I'm not gonna take the Ubers or I'll drive.
Nice.
I don't know, them cab prices are different. But
Yeah, 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 man.
they'll make their
Cab
own
prices.
rules. Like
It
50
hits
to
super
the
different.
yeah, 50 to Harlem. I'm like to Harlem. So
Ah! Yeah, I just
From
paid
Broadway?
65 to get here from Riverdale, my guy.
yeah, I don't
I
play
ain't even lying
uptown.
on that.
Uptown they gotta get a fee to go uptown.
Oh, word up.
Word, word.
So you
Serious
at
shit.
Broadway tonight? Yeah, I know you a
I'm at
resident.
Broad. Yeah, yeah, I'm at Broad.
You a
I'm in
resident, right?
between. Yeah, yeah, I'm in between shows right now. This is a Zoom show. Then I'm about to head to Broadway in a couple minutes and close that one out.
I feel like when I see because I follow Jared Waters on the internet,
The
and I
internet.
feel
He's
I feel
so
like you're one of the most hardest working comics out there. Every time I look up your whole, first of all, your whole the Turbo, the whole moniker of Turbo is great. I love it, and also when you've now been utilizing pop culture for your promos.
right.
Um, how did that come along? How did you come along with using pop culture for your promos?
Well, during the pandemic, me and my wife, she was making flyers. Like we were just sitting at the house, and she goes, "I can make a flyer way better than you." And then she's like, "You should try it this way." And then we started talking.
Shout out to your wife, yo.
You
She
know,
obviously knows.
depends all of them. So like we were just talking about like creativity. I was like, "What if you switch my head to this?" So like every week we'll just come up with like a suggestion. Or we see
Mhm.
anything trending, whatever's trending. I was like, "All right, let's do this one. Let's switch this one. Any classic movies." So I think the first one we did the Boys in the Hood. That's when just random people just hit me. I'm like, "Yo, let me out." That was the most iconic scene.
Yo, that's super. I feel like that's super dope, right? Because like y'all are also actively kind of showing us what blackonomics is all about, right? Like it starts in the home. It starts like in your family, and like what you're practicing is what you're preaching. So like I wanted to shout out y'all for like being a dynamic unit because a lot of people don't understand like how like partnership can really be utilized to like make you both shine. So that's dope. And
Heck,
I
you know
haven't
where I'm
seen
at too.
not
Like,
one
where's
of your
she at? Like,
flyers,
yeah, like where are you
but
at? I go, you got the flyer. You know where I am. It's right here.
Do you
right,
feel
what's
like
up with that with niggas not reading? Like not reading shit. Like there's a flyer right here. You want to find me? I'm right here, my guy. Like
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what she got really was like downloading different she's laughing different different Photoshop things, and then she finally found her groove. She found her groove. So like now it's like you can't be hitting me at the last minute because now she's full time working. But in the
yo,
beginning,
yeah.
like when we came
yo,
after we got
respect her professionalism, all right?
yeah,
Gotta
Do you
respect that shit. Love a woman that's
I,
about her shit and is like,
right.
yo, I got things to do. And we all need to respect that with each other. I find like black people don't respect the boundaries that we set for our own professionalism or even our personal spaces. People would be like, oh, whatever, I can hit you up whatever time because we're friends. It's like, no, you can't because I'm doing other shit and I can't pay you attention right now.
is
And that's
there
dope.
is there a boundary to how far you'll go with the promotion? Like you use Boys in the Hood. What where won't you go for promotion? Will you be like, actually, I don't think that's you know what I mean?
Well, sometimes it depends. If it's a private show, I won't post like the private show. I'll put like a different name for it, so some people can't come to certain places. Sometimes, when you've been to a club and just random people show up. I was like,
Hmm.
remember, this is still my job. Y'all just can't be just chilling over
Right.
here. You can't do everything else. So I let people know, like, if it's ticket based, but if it's like you've been to the park before. The park, it's a free. Everybody come out to the park. There's a lot more space to do that. So we just depend on what's trending. We make sure we don't try to, not even to offend, but like if anything, if my mama likes it, that's fine.
That's what's up. Nah, no, that's true. That's true. I had a
I think
gig this weekend.
the only one we
Like
stopped, we were gonna do the dude holding the gun that shot the dude in Boys in the Hood when Ricky ran off, and we didn't
You
have enough
decided not
time.
to do that?
There's too many bloods out there. Like in our neighborhood, I was like, this now.
y'all
I
can't do that shit out. Not in these streets. These
was
streets
like,
are these
I was
streets
like,
are
I was like, we should do. I
slippery.
said we should do that one. I was like, that's a red bandana. I was like, hold on, let's not promote the bloods out here.
The Crips is gonna be mad in the mug.
I was like, yeah. So shout
Nah,
out
they
to.
making their money from that Crip Cola, yo. And that Crip Cola is kind of good. That Crip Cola is kind of tasty, okay? Giving Pepsi a run for its money. All
So yeah,
right? I'm
we
not
just we
even
just
gonna
remain
lie.
neutral. We remain neutral. We'll just see whatever's trending. So I'm on Twitter. We'll see what's trending. And sometimes my lady, she knows what's trending because she watches like I forgot Bridgerton, all this and stuff that I don't know about. I work a lot, so when I get off work and I'm doing stand up, so I don't know what she's into. She's like, no, Bridgerton's what's happening right now. I was all right. Let's do the Bridgerton. Throw the Bridgerton in. So sometimes it's just a collaborative effort.
Speaking of like trending things, like as a comment with your material, do you like actively, incorporate things? I know you don't like pay attention to a lot of trends, but like where your material, like where do you draw your material from? Are you like, on the trends? Like I see a lot of comics that try to make jokes about shit that just happened. Like when the slap happened, a lot of comics had these jokes about slapping folks or something around Chris Rock and Will Smith. So like as a comic, how do you like discern your own stuff, or do you like pull from what's going on? Or
I mean, I think if you're like if you're riffing, it might be good to riff on like a topical bit. Sometimes, like when you go to different rooms, the topical humor is good. But for me, I'm trying to write jokes that last. And when you're writing topical humor, it's only for a certain amount. Like the Chris Rock thing is kind of played out now and stuff like that. And there's like a rule, unspoken rule. Once the big dogs got the joke is no longer, it's over. I remember when the Jussie Smollett thing came out, and I had the take about. I was like, man, ain't no way this happened like this. And then when Dave Chappelle took it there, I was like, all right, this joke is over. He got it.
this joke is
It's
done.
his,
It's done.
you got it until the big dogs got it. But sometimes that's why it's best to write about your life because no one has your life story. No one has your life takes
Oh,
and stuff like
do
that. No
do
one
you
can take your
consider
life story.
yourself a big dog, a medium dog, or a small dog?
It depends what dogs I'm around.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
I'm a big dog when I go back to Tampa. That's my town. But here it's hard to be a big dog when Chris Rock walks your streets daily. Or anything else. Like I know what class I am. I think in New York it's all about class system, right? Like like I'm above open mics and stuff like that. But I'm still like if I get on the show with Kareem Green, I know that I got to pull out all the heavy artillery because this big dog is not playing for real. He gonna shake the room, shake everything else, and you get better as a comic following him. And then like
True.
Kareem Green is hilarious.
gaining his respect
Hilarious.
is
I
everything. I
agree.
remember when I gained his respect, it was like it's better than getting to a club. He said, let me tell you something. Everybody kind of funny. Green funny.
Right. Some
Yeah,
people are
Kareem, you got to
lots of
shake the
people are
room.
funny, but can you like lots of people? I like to say lots of people are casually funny, but can you be intentionally funny? That's the difference. Like,
Facts.
can
Or
you
just
can
or
you
be
write a
yourself.
joke that's gonna fucking make people laugh? Like I'm funny in conversation. I'm funny when I talk to people, but can I get on a stage and make people that don't know me like feel something and relate to where I'm at and pull them to where I'm at? I feel like that's another type of alchemy that artists create. Like as a comic, that's your alchemy is being able to like pull anybody into your place and making them feel you and making them laugh with you, get the joke. Even if they don't get the joke, they still laugh.
Well,
You
or I
know,
think it's about setting too. Like the set that you play at a club might be completely different. Like when I go to comedy in Harlem with Jamie Roberts, I know there's older people there, and it's a respect shown. Like you have to like
right?
appreciate the crowd for coming
Oh
out. You have to make
yeah,
sure you
is
give
that
it up
that's
to
the one
them.
at that's not the one at Harlem Nights, is it? At
No, it's East Harlem.
Harlem.
It's by
It's on West 17th by the Costco.
by Costco.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
I
remember
haven't been there
we
yet.
no, it's a beautiful black owned business, everything else. And I know we did a show packed out, but sometimes as people coming in late, I was like, you got to realize you got to make a decision. Like, do you want to really go with these people or just realize they're just showing up late or just target your body, cheat your body
Yeah,
and
yeah,
try to get everybody to make them feel like that? So like with Jamie, he's a big dog to me. I remember when I came to New York, he was the first comic that gave me like stage time. But as I get older in the scene, I realize that some younger comics walk up to me and think I'm the big dog. Like, oh, what's
yeah,
up? I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, we all the same. And I think that,
yeah.
until you can actively live off comedy for real, and you take care of your family and stuff like that, I feel like we're all in the same playing field. We're all doing the same thing. We all
What
trying to get on.
I one of my first shows when I was like, a comic that didn't really know myself, I was just starting out, was up on Harlem Tavern. It's 2 joke minimum. I'll never
Yeah, I
forget this
remember that.
shit. And it was a room full of motherfuckers playing spades and dominoes and like eating dinner. Like niggas did not come there for comedy. They came there for everything else. So it was like you had to like really be able to like make a mark and make yourself known. And I bombed horribly. And then the next comic just kind of like fucking skyrocketed off of my bombing because
Well, yeah,
I
if
was
you
looking like the
bomb,
love child
that's
of
the
Lenny
best thing.
Kravitz and Macy Gray. You know what I'm saying? And I was sounding like fucking seven, right? Like if anybody remembers Blossom, I was sounding like seven. So like I get it. But now the next time I went back, I rocked it. So I want to know from you, when was that moment for you that you transitioned from, oh, this is a thing I like to do, to, this is a lifestyle that I can maintain.
I think it was actually I could credit my wife for this. This is why we were dating in 2013. I remember I moved from Orlando back to Tampa, Florida, and I started doing stand up. And one time she called me and she's like, "Do you still do stand up?" And I was like, "What'd you say to me?" And she's like, "Do you still do stand up? Like, I don't see you out here like this. Do you still do stand up?" And I was like, "How can you like say that to me? This is what I want to do first. Like, I just, I don't hear you talking about stand up like that. I don't hear
So
you
it was like
doing
an
like that."
insult to your pride. You were like, what the fuck you mean? Do I still do this? I
Right.
do this, girl.
And
I
then
do
after that,
this.
I was like, every night I'm gonna be out here. And then it was 3 years, and then I was like, I told myself, I was like, all right, in 2 years when I get, I want to work with different comics. I was like, once I get enough juice, I'm just gonna leave to New York. And then once I left to New York, that's when my parents started to be like, all right, he's leaving. Like, when are you leaving? I just packed up my car. Like, you got a job? I was like, no. You got a house? I was like, I found a house. And I was like, everything will figure itself out. So I was like, sometimes you got to put that. A lot of people got faith, but a lot of people won't got to work with it. Like
Yeah, a
faith
lot of
without
people aren't
action
willing to take that leap in their faith.
is
Are
action.
you? I look at your schedule and you do like 3 to 4 shows a night. Do you feel tired? And how many times you find yourself canceling a show?
I try to never cancel show. I can't. I don't cancel no shows. Unless the show's either canceled on me. But you got to think about it like this too. Like after the shows are done, I wake up like 6 a.m. to go to work. And after I get off work, I got like maybe 3 hours. I'll work out for about an hour, then I'll rest for like 2 hours and do it. But I've been doing it for a long time, so my body's kind of used to it. So the only time I might get tired, like Fridays and Saturdays, is when I get like the rest day. Like on a Friday, all the shows start at late at night. So I'll come home and rest till like 8, or on Saturday in the morning, I don't got to do nothing. So we'll just lounge around. Me and my lady lounge around and do stuff. And Sunday, after I go to church, I'll just chill. So Saturdays and Sundays like my really like rest days. And then I'll start stand up like that. Because a good thing stand up's at night too.
Yeah, for sure. Do you? I was about to ask about that. Do you? Because you said church, that has been a whole other. I've been doing a lot of stand up recently, and I've been doing like fundraisers and places where you have to be clean.
Yeah.
Um, is that something that you like? Is that something that you get to enjoy? Because I see a lot of the late night shows. Do you get to enjoy like doing church kind of benefits, or is that even a part of your act? Is God a part of your act?
Yeah, God's a part of my act. Being religious. I got a couple jokes about being religious. I remember my mom, like growing up, my mom, like I wanted to stand up forever. She's like, you gotta be like Sinbad. Sinbad don't curse at all. His parents is religious. You don't gotta cuss at all. Then when I met Sinbad backstage, I was like, he cussed like a sailor. And she's like, well, he don't do it on stage though. So
Yeah.
it was just like, as like, and like being in the South, like being as a black comic in the South, they tell you it's better to work clean. If you work clean,
Okay.
you'll get a whole lot farther because sometimes once they label you dirty, it's hard to get like work as like hosts and stuff like that. So I always like I don't curse in general. So for
Mhm.
real, sometimes I might say like titties every now and then. But if I'm doing like a corporate church gig, I was like, all right, I'll switch it to booty or something like that. But it's sometimes I think it's sometimes when you're doing like church gigs, sometimes they ask you to be too clean, or sometimes you could just get into that like hacky stuff or just making fun of people shouting the whole time. And I just stopped doing it because I was like, all right, this is not. I don't want to be in a place where like a 5-year-old can laugh at my joke and a 25-year-old can laugh and understand the same concept. You know, like I
You
want to
don't
like
want to be in
challenge.
that place.
No, I was like, I don't. I got. There's a lot of like Christian comics that I know that make a lot of big money, but I like went to
Mhm.
their shows. I was like, I don't want to make kids. I work with kids all day. I was like, I don't want to make them. It's not that hard to make them laugh. Just got to do
Yeah,
something
yeah,
silly. So I
yeah.
want stand up to mean something. You know, like I want my story to mean something. I want like you to laugh at like my thoughts, not me making fun of a kid making fun of his parents. You know, like that just is that's not my style of humor. But like it's easy money. I've done it before. So you know, if someone asks me to do it, I'll do it.
What
Like a
does
good
stand up?
skill.
What does stand up mean to you?
For me, stand up means it's like laughter is like a good dose of medicine. So like you take that day to make somebody's life better, you know. So for
Mhm.
me, it's the ability to have a unique take on a topic or anything else, but you're still making people laugh. So for me, it's like a lifestyle. You know, there's
Mhm.
different forms of stand up. Like I might not like for me, a lot of people talk about their top 5 stand up specials, but for me, being from the South, I was like the only special I could ever watch with my mom, Ricky Smiley special, is the fun special I remember watching with my grandma. I remember me and
Yeah,
my grandma just sitting there laughing at like Ricky Smiley, and I remember meeting some of these comics up here. Like, did you just say Ricky Smiley is one of your favorite specials? I said, dog, open casket sharp. I remember we quoted that all throughout college the whole time. I remember just
yeah.
sitting with my cousins and stuff
I'll
like that.
never forget that special. Never.
I was like, that was just
Never.
Ricky. It don't gotta be like for me, even though I'm like deep thought, I was like, I like all types of humor. It could be like Ricky Smiley, or it could be like Zach Galifianakis live at the Purple
Mm.
Onion. Or like as I'm getting older now, I'm starting to realize the genius of Steve Harvey. I didn't realize how hard it was to host a
Yeah.
show, how
That nigga
funny
goes
he is.
hard.
Yeah, and I was
He goes
realized like
hard.
the age it was. So like I get every different phase. I like fall in love with different comics. Like for me, like Chris Rock is like my number one. I feel like Chris Rock has the ability
Okay.
to make political humor and bring it. Like when if you ever look
Yeah.
at any of his specials and wonder what was America like in that time, you just have to play Chris Rock special.
Right.
Mm.
For
He's a
me,
reflection of the
it's
time.
definitely like Whoopi
Yeah.
Goldberg, and like that whole George Carlin, that whole area of like early Chris Rock is in there, but that whole area of early '90s comics, late '80s comics that like made political shit funny. Like they were able to make you laugh, like realize the humor in the serious things that we're going through, but also make a point with their jokes. So it's like you were laughing and the shit was funny, but later on when it marinated, you were still like, word. Like all of those comic relief specials, they were really big for me.
Yeah.
The things like that, like and I don't know how you feel about them, but what I wanted to ask you is, speaking of kids, do you have children, and if so, how does that play a part in your parenting, if at all?
I have no children at all.
Good for you. Don't do it, bro.
I have
Don't
no
do it.
kids.
You
I
like
have
having
no
sex?
kids.
Don't do it. Don't
No
have
kids.
kids, okay? Don't do
Yeah,
it.
we don't got no kids right now. But like I wish I had a kid when I was like 13, so my kid would be like 21 now, so we can hang
No,
out.
no, you don't.
We
What
could
kind of
Yeah.
asinine
we could
shit
be
is
doing
that? Don't do that
we could
shit to
do
your
stand
wife.
up together. We
That's
could have done
wild.
stand up together.
That's evil,
That's some
nigga.
country
That's
shit to say.
evil. Don't do
Yeah,
that
that's
shit to
me
your
even
wife.
thinking about it now. I was like, man, my son like that dude I do the show with Matthew. He's only 21. I was like, man, my son would be like 19 right now. We can hang out. He could come to
Yo,
the park with
I'm
me.
almost 40. I'm gonna be 40 this month. My
Oh
son
wow.
is gonna be 15 soon. And I don't regret having him when I had him, because yeah, it's super cool that like I'm still young enough to appreciate shit that he likes, but also it's like this nigga cock blocks all the time. Like I'm out here trying to live my best life and I can't get laid for shit because of this nigga. Like, stop. Like, no. Don't
That
do
is
it to
unfortunate.
yourself.
He's
Even
Tie them
as a
loins
married
up.
couple, look, as a married couple, you're gonna get blocked even harder. Don't do it. Don't do it.
now we gotta be fruitful and multiply.
Do
Whenever we
do you
start
want to have
something.
children? But do you want to have
Yeah,
children?
yeah. I'm from a big family. Yeah, I want kids. I wanna
How
spread.
how many kids you trying to have?
I don't know, 5, 7.
I
Is
feel
your
like
wife on
Jared is
board with
smart
that
enough.
shit? I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel
that's
like he's
something you
smart
only
enough
talked
to
about with
wait till he gets
yourself.
some checks.
Yeah, I mean, we can get surrogates. Kanye got surrogates. They seem fine.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you can go to Colombia and get somebody to have the baby for you for $3,000. Then they get a little visa.
Nah, how you gonna treat her like that? It costs at least 15. At least
Nah,
15, bro.
not what I've
Yo,
been
they
reading.
pay 8 for the eggs. They pay 8 just for the eggs.
Nah,
They
not
don't
what I've
even need
been.
me to carry the baby. They pay 8 for the eggs.
I'll come down. I'll put her in
Like,
North Carolina. I got land in North Carolina. We'll put her in North Carolina. She can live out there. Have family to take care of it, and just bring the babies up to New York.
you can't buy
Hey,
no land in North Carolina for $3,000. I done tried. I
I
done
said I got
looked.
land already in North Carolina. My
he
people,
said he
Oh,
got the land.
okay.
His people got the land.
Okay,
He gonna
well,
just
my
raise the
womb is
live
kids
out
there.
there.
available. Look, my womb is available for at least 3 more years, okay? I got an IUD right now, but I'll whip that shit out. If you need a
Yes, I
baby
should take out.
surrogate, holla. I will have your baby for some land, okay? That's all
Yeah,
I need is land.
your baby gonna come out smoking a cigarette though. Well, anyway,
It will not. Stop being a hater, nigga. Stop being a hater. Stop
hey
being a
man,
hater, nigga.
nah, I love you guys, man. I gotta wake up early, man. This is the podcast for me tonight. I
The
think Jared,
podcast. I feel like
you did a great
this
job.
was
Yo,
a
you
great
keep doing your
episode.
thing,
Good
Turbo.
to see you guys, man. It's a
And
pleasure.
yo, Jared, I don't know if
Yes,
you're
man.
ever free on a Thursday, but this Thursday I start a comedy night at Secret Pour in Bushwick on DeKalb and Broadway. I would love to have you, and I will pay you out of pocket if you ever show up just to do like 10, 15 minutes. That's my word to you. And I said it in front of all of the audience, so I got to stick by
She
it.
said it. She
But
gotta stick
I
by
said it. I said it. I ain't say how much though. Just pay attention to
it.
what I
He like
said.
his minimum
Uh,
$100.
but starting this Thursday, I just wanted I wanted to be able to squeeze my plug in before we signed off on this episode. Because I know he got to get up early. I got an early start. I'm also out with one of my new love interests, so I'm trying to act like I care about what he's doing. Hey, what?
Jared, you
What?
got any shows you want to
What?
promote? You got any
Yeah, if
shows
you're
you want to
free
promote?
every Wednesday night in Astoria, right now it's at Arcadia Bar, but in June, third week of June, we're going back to the park, Arcadia Park on
Okay.
23rd Avenue. We'll be out there in the park, and every
Ooh,
Thursday,
that's some. Ooh,
Comedy
okay.
Night Live is
Yeah.
at Casa de Meza Bar. It's downtown near like Alphabet City. We do that every
That.
Wednesday at 8 and every Thursday at 8.
Got you. Facts, yo.
I'm gonna
Yo,
pull up
Jared
on you
Water.
tomorrow.
Let me
I'm
know
gonna
we're
pull up
here.
on you tomorrow.
Yo,
We'll be
be
there.
All
safe,
right,
good
yo.
brother.
Well,
Yo,
bye, you
kill that
guys. Have
shit
a
tonight,
wonderful night.
bro.
Peace
Thank
and
you
many
for
blessings.
coming. We appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir. Turbo.
Turbo.
Yo, so
Hey.
yeah, man, I had a good time. You had a good
Yeah.
time? The podcast
I
was
had a
nice.
great time. I feel like this was a really great episode.
Hmm.
I feel like we were lit. I'm really happy that our special guest came through. I think
Word
that
up.
was a great interview. We asked the hard hitting questions.
A
We
lot of
talked
hard
about
hitting
some
questions.
unpopular opinions, and we was
Word up.
out here chef kissing the taste makerism of it all. So
Word
I
up.
feel like our job is done. How you
True.
feeling about it?
I'm feeling good. I'm a little bit jet lagged because I just got back from Cali like 4 hours
Right,
ago.
as
So
you
I'm a
should
bit jet
be.
lagged, you know what I mean?
And you
But I
look like
gotta
you was
wake up
doing a
early.
lot out there too.
I
Before we
was
sign off, you want to talk a little bit about it or not?
it was a wild time. It was a wild time. Just a lot of performances, a lot of practice, a lot of listening to music, a lot of trying to schmooze with um other artists and a couple of like, manager type people that was out there. I didn't really get a chance to see my LA friends. So like, that was sort of
It happens.
disappointing.
That's one of those things. We're these people. We be moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't get to bake with everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
got to keep shaking, and that's how it is. But it looks like
Yeah.
you had a great time. It looks like you did a great job. You got your melanin popping. You got your
Yeah.
cowboy hat. You got your cowboy hat slinging. When is the next smokes and jokes? Just to remind me so I could be
Oh,
there and be on
this
time.
Friday.
Cause
It's gonna
I
be this
killed that
Friday.
last one, right? I killed my set on the last one, right?
I wasn't there, but I believe you. I was
I
upstate
did a
and
whole look. My set was 15 minutes and 15 seconds.
okay.
It's like
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means, but
Send
I
it to
killed
me.
that
Send it to me
shit.
on WhatsApp.
I will send it to you. It's a
All right.
bit of a long video. I might have to transfer it to you, but either way,
Either
uh,
way.
I'm glad that we was able to get another one in the books. It was a good
Uh-huh.
one for me, good one for you. It seems like this is a good place to sign off.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's everybody know, like this is the podcast,
Podcast.
and this
This
is
is
our
the
theme
theme song.
song.
Peace.